Donald Trump recently removed a message that might have revealed his gravest legal risk yet. The Epstein records arrived. Trump responded. Then he rushed to wipe the proof. This is not about politics. This is about what occurs when a person with absolute control feels the boundaries are closing in. From a lawyer's view, this is the sort of conduct that reveals everything you must understand. On January 3, 2025, a federal bench in the Southern District of New York opened nearly 1,000 pages of formerly locked files linked to the Jeffrey Epstein matter. These are not fresh claims. These are court records, proof that has been locked for years, accounts that have been masked, names that elite people prayed would never see light, and Trump's name surfaced several times. Now let's be definite about what we are seeing here. These files come from a libel suit started by Epstein-Giuffre against Ghislaine Maxwell. The suit closed years ago, but the basic proof, depositions, witness reports, flight records, that data remained locked until now. The public story has been cleaned. Epstein had links to elite people. Trump met Epstein socially, basic, hazy, cautious. Here is what they are not telling you. The files opened contain clear claims linking Trump to Epstein's houses during the era when the harm was regular and active. We are talking about Mar-a-Lago. We are talking about Manhattan. We are talking about date overlaps that any skilled lawyer would instantly mark Trump's initial reply. He sent a note on Truth Social calling the opening a trap and asserting he blocked Epstein from Mar-a-Lago years ago. Normal strategy. Shift, change history, rule the story. But here is where it gets risky. Within moments, that message was removed. Not changed, removed. Reflect on this for a bit. Why would a person remove a denial? Why would you wipe your own shield from a lawyer's view? There are only a few factors you pull back a public note that fast. 1. Your team told you it is legally risky. 2. The note has a provable fraud that could be used against you later. 3. You see you just made proof of awareness of guilt. Let that settle. When a person with Trump's media sense, a person who has never fled from a fight, who has hit judges, lawyers, witnesses, the FBI, the DOJ, when that person removes a message shielding himself, it signifies something grave just occurred behind shut doors. Here is what they are not telling you about why this file opening matters. The Southern District of New York is not a political group. It is one of the most top and fierce legal offices in the land. When SDNY opens files, it is not chance, it is tactical. These records were opened because a federal judge decided that the public gains surpassed privacy fears. That is a legal rule. It needs proof that clarity helps justice. What does that reveal? It reveals the bench trusts there is something in these files the public has a right to see, something that hits justice for elite figures. Now match that with Trump's response. A lawyer looks at removed notes the same way we look at ruined proof. It shows focus, it shows aim, it shows you saw something was wrong. If Trump truly had nothing to hide, if his bond with Epstein was just social and decades ago, there would be no factor to remove a denial. But he did, and here is the point. We now have a file of that removal. Images exist, archives exist. The web does not lose. That signifies Trump just made a clock lawyer's dream about. January 3rd, files opened. January 3rd, Trump sends denial. January 3rd, Trump removes denial. That is awareness of guilt in real time. Let me lead you through what is actually in these files because the press is hiding the details. The Giuffre V's. Maxwell's suit had sworn accounts from several witnesses who were asked clearly about Trump's presence at Epstein-linked shows and spots. One deposition clearly names Trump as being there at Mar-a-Lago during a bash where minor girls were also present. The witness calls Trump and Epstein as being very near during that era. Another file cites a 2016 deposition where a witness was asked about Trump's conduct at these meets. The reply was locked until this month. Now, does this show illegal acts? Not alone, but from a lawyer's view, it found something vital: nearness and sight. If you are making a suit, you must show the target was in a spot to see what was moving. You must show entry. You must show bond. These files do exactly that. They also break Trump's main shield that he hardly knew Epstein, that he broke links fast, that he was not involved, flight records, bash guest lists, phone files. These are the types of files that do not lie, and they are now public. Match this to how the DOJ ran other top suits involving elite men and claims of sex crimes. When proof links a person to a crime ring, even vaguely, lawyers start making a plot suit. You do not need to show a person did the basic crime. You must show they were part of the group that they gained, that they saw. The removed message, that is proof of sight. Trump saw these files existed, he saw what they said, and he saw his public denial would not last. This is larger than one suit. What we are seeing is a force test of whether the rule of law hits former presidents. Trump has spent years saying he is safe, from justice, presidential safety, executive right, total safety. But the Epstein files are not about his era in power. They are about conduct that allegedly occurred before, during, and after his term. That signifies no safety wall. That signifies no executive right shield. If DOJ or SDNY wanted to follow this, the legal gate is open. And here is what makes this very risky for Trump. Epstein is dead. Ghislaine Maxwell is in jail. The partners have either turned or been stopped. That leaves one big open ask. Who else was involved? Lawyers love that ask because it makes force. It makes power. Right now, Trump is facing 4 distinct criminal suits: federal secret files, federal January 6th, Georgia RICO, New York state theft. Add Epstein into the mix, and you are seeing a likely 5th probe that hits the 3rd rail of American politics: sex crimes involving minors. No lawyer wants to start that suit unless it is perfect. But if the proof is there, if the files back it, if witnesses prove it, this shifts the entire legal world, and Trump knows it. That is why he removed the message. Because the wise move, the move any skilled shield lawyer would suggest, is to say nothing. Do not say, do not deny, do not make proof. But Trump could not stop himself. He sent, then he shook, then he wiped. That is not the conduct of a person with a clean shield. That is the conduct of a person who just saw the risk is real. Here's the truth they do not want you to grasp. The Epstein files are not leaving. The files are public. The legal check is growing, and Trump's remove message is now part of the file. From a lawyer's view, this is the type of gap in the suit you wait for when the target does your job for you. When they make the proof of guilt without you having to build it, this is not done. This is just starting. Stay aware, because what occurs next will decide whether power still masks the elite or whether justice finally finds them. More truth coming. I am Robert Hayes for Yoda Noticias.